Welcome to Meditation Monday. Today I'm going to talk to you about doodling as spiritual practice. I did a couple of workshops last week on awe and wonder in the healing of trauma, and one of the exercises that I did was about doodling, and people loved it so much that I thought I would introduce you to it as well. It's actually one of the practices that's in my book, The Gift of Wonder, but I think that I've developed it since that time, and I had no idea of what a powerful tool it would be in the process of healing, as we're all in the need of at this point in time. Doodling, I've always known, is a great problem solver and a de-stressor, and it can help us to maintain our emotional balance and express unconscious feelings. Evidently, the repetitive and rhythmic motions of sketching activate the relaxation response as a way to counter the body's fight or flight intuition. Making art in any form has been shown to reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, and therefore helps us to relax in all kinds of ways. I'm finding that it's also a simple way to introduce us to awe and wonder without even needing to go outside. There is a whole reservoir of awe and wonder experiences, memories hidden in our unconscious brain that we can easily tap into by simple experiments in doodling. And these also help us to de-stress, but I think also help us to get into touch with our awe-inspiring God and the wonder of the world that God has created around us. We all need a daily dose of awe and wonder. You're probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but this is something that we might like to experiment as a way to get in touch with that. So what gives you a sense of awe? Doodling is one of the exercises I experiment with in the Gift of Wonder, as I said earlier, and I increasingly appreciate what a powerful therapeutic tool it is in this time of stress and high anxiety. So let's give it a go. Now, I know for some of you, it's probably already increased the sense of anxiety, but this is not about art, and no one else will see what you do, so you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to have a complicated template that somebody else has created either to be able to doodle. And this is not about making something that is perfect and intricate, but it's really just about allowing your emotions to flow through the doodle that you make. My experience is that we do our best doodles and find the greatest relief from stress and connection to awe and wonder when we do spontaneous doodles. Yesterday, one person commented, "My doodle made me realize that God builds on the lines that seem to have no purpose in my life." Another said, "Because I used my non-dominant hand, some lines were really thick and others were thin. It made me realize that beauty is in both the deepness and the shallowness of my life and of the world around me." Quite inspirational things, and others that I didn't write down, and so I'm not able to share them with you. But I thought that I would share a couple of doodles with you. First, my own doodle. This is one of my favorite doodles, I think, and certainly one that I created as a de-stressor at the time and also a problem solver. You can probably tell that there is an ink line in the background, and that, of course, was the initial line that I drew during my time of what I'm going to have you do in a moment, closing my eyes, and then I filled in the shapes. And part of what I sensed as I looked at this doodle was God was saying to me, I can create order and beauty out of chaos. And it was just a wonderful sense of settling into the presence of God in this. The other one I wanted to share with you, a very special doodle that was sent to me by my good friend Kim, who had not long before she did this doodle had an emergency heart transplant done. And she too has found that doodling is a wonderful form of de-stressing. and of getting in touch with the beauty of God's world in a simple way in this time. So, having seen these, hopefully you can relax and enjoy yourself with no inhibitions. But we warned, this doodling exercise means that you need to be willing to let go of your control of your anxieties, control of your fears, and even to a certain extent, control of your life and your expectations. Because, there don't need to be any expectations in this. And often what comes out is from our unconscious minds. And it's really just because of that is a healing process as well. It is an exercise that helps us to connect to our awe-inspiring God, the creator of the universe, who never leaves nor forsakes us. So pull out a blank sheet of paper and some colored pencils. You might need to pause the video at this point so that you can have all the right kind of tools. Pick up one of your colored pencils or pens with your non-dominant hand, whatever that might be, because that helps us to connect to our creative side, even when we're doing something blindfolded or with our eyes closed, as I'm going to have you do here. So close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Doodle for 30 seconds. And while you do that, repeat, I believe in an awe-inspiring God. 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 Okay, now open your eyes and look at what you've drawn. Is there a shape that emerges, stands out for you? Is there a shape that says, oh, this is awe-inspiring? Maybe like me, it still looks a little chaotic and you need to add some design and some color in order to make it into an awe-inspiring image of the great God of the universe. So add some color, add some design. If you don't have colored pens and pencils, just do different kind of, maybe hashtags in one little part, maybe crosses in another, maybe circles in another part, until you have a design over the whole of your doodle. Prayerfully ask yourself, where does this shape come from? What does it need to be complete? And what do you sense of the presence of God in this image? What gives you a sense of awe? What gives you a feeling that you are connecting to an awe-inspiring God as you complete this doodle? What do you sense that God is saying to you through this image? Is there a further response that God might be asking you to make? This is a very simple exercise, but one that really has the power to bring us into a place of relaxation, into a place of the presence of the God of the universe, into a place in which we recognize the awe and wonder of everything that there is around us and of the awe-inspiring nature of that God who is at the center of the universe and at the center of the world. And as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that helps us to find healing, to de-stress us, and to bring us into a place of peace and calm than that during a time like